I would like to read today from the book of Joshua chapter 14. We have this story given to us after the nation of Israel had been in the land of Canaan, conquering the land of Canaan for their own as the Lord gave it to them. And we remember back 45 years before that Israel was supposed to conquer the nation of Canaan then, but they sent out those spies, 12 of them. 10 of the spies came back, brought up an evil report of the land. They didn't have faith that God would be able to give them the victory like He said He would. And 2 of the spies, the other 2, Caleb and Joshua, these 2 said that yes, we can follow God's will. Well, the 10 other spies, the bad ones, turned the heart of the people against the will of the Lord, and thus they were made to wander in the desert for 40 years in punishment for their unbelief. Now, 40 years later, plus 5 years, 45 years later, they are in the land of Canaan. They've been conquering, and we have Caleb speaking these words. And we'll have it introduced to us in verse number 6. Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal. And Caleb the son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite said unto him, Thou knowest the thing that the Lord said unto Moses, the man of God, concerning me and thee in Kadesh Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses the servant of the Lord sent me from Kadesh Barnea to espy out the land. And I brought him word again as it was in mine heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt. But I wholly followed the Lord my God. And Moses sware on that day, saying, Surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thy inheritance, and thy children's forever, because thou hast wholly followed the Lord my God. And now, behold, the Lord hath kept me alive, as He said, these 45 years, even since the Lord spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day 85 years old. 85 years old. As yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to come in. Now therefore give me this mountain, whereof the Lord spake in that day, for thou heardest in that day how the Anakims were there, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be the Lord will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as the Lord said. So we find here, I like this, an 85-year-old man with some spunk to him. He still has some grit. He is doing the Lord's work, and he has some grit about him. He's 85 years old, and he makes special mentions that I can still do all that I was able to do back then when I was 40. I can still do it now, 85 years old. Now, I'm sure by the time I get to be 40 years old, which is a while away, I will probably have less than I'm able to do due to health. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll be able to do more. But I'm sure by the time I reach 85, my health will have deteriorated to the extent that I can't do quite what I can now, or what I can when I'll be 40. Of course, we find out here that God blessed Caleb, and that God allowed him to keep this good health. God blessed him with this good health. So, I'm not going to use this passage to say that if you serve God, God will bless you with health up until your latter days. I can't say that. That would be a lie. He might. I don't know, but I can't say it for sure. What I can say is this. Just as Caleb was doing the Lord's work all the way from 40 years old, and he's still doing it at 85 and still has that spunk and that grit about him, so the same with you and with me. We're doing the Lord's work. Even when we get old and gray, or if you are already there, you can still have victory in spiritual battle. You can still have victory in doing the Lord's work. So, don't think, but because you're old, you have to be discouraged. The best days are behind you. Not necessarily. Caleb was able to take over this. Caleb was blessed with the Lord, with this health. And he was able to still fight like he was when he was a lot younger. So the same. You get older, you mature. Your body may not be able to hold up to what it used to be able to do, but you can still fight this battle, and you can still be victorious, even in old age. Now, I'm not going to wait till then to live a victorious life. I want to live it now. I love being in victory. But as life gets on, we can continue living in more and more victory. And instead of our heads hanging down low, the older we get, we can raise our heads that much higher because we can still live in victory.